It felt like deja vu all over again as Nebraska added another one-score game to the loss column Thursday night. What seemed like a new beginning early in the second half turned into an all-too-familiar feeling in the final minutes of the game as the Huskers fall to Minnesota 13-10. With the new staff starting 0-1, how will they show out the rest of the season? We'll break it down with our very special guest, Fox Sports' Kevin Kugler. Sean Callahan's also along, the latest with Big Red recruiting. All that and more next on Big Red Wrap-Up. Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Severe, and welcome to Big Red Wrap-Up on Nebraska Public Media. Nebraska is 0-1 to start another season, and now it's Buffalo week. Joining me now, former Husker Jay Moore and Sean Callahan. What I realize is we could all go on the Buffalo's campus this week because none of us have red on.
I know.
We could all be there, right?
That's like reverse psychology.
I guess so. Like we're trying to avoid wearing it. Your feelings, especially immediately after that Thursday night, game's over. Just feel like you've seen this before?
Yeah, unfortunately. But I'm not one to definitely not overreact after the first game because if you just want to, you could tear this thing apart into a very micro, viewpoint. But it really just comes down to turnovers. Nebraska doesn't turn the ball. Those two key turnovers, especially the one right before half, they get 3 points there at least. But again, it's funny because I think Gabe Ervin was in. I think he scored that touchdown.
I thought he definitely in.
But you get the penalty, and then this thing's kind of unfortunately unraveled there. But the momentum is so key in college football, and Nebraska had so many opportunities to grab it, and they just didn't. And it just comes down to turnovers and poor decisions by Jeff Sims at quarterback.
3 games that I watched this weekend: the Nebraska-Minnesota game, TCU, and Colorado, and then LSU-Florida State. How many times do you see teams get inside that 10-yard line and not get points? Mm-hmm. You have to get points when you can because you never know when the momentum's going to flip on you.
Yeah, you just think about Nebraska, like, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way they're not going to get points for halftime in this situation. They're going to get at least 3.
Right.
And then throw a pick in the end zone.
Yeah.
And you go back to the way the game, like worst case scenario, Grant fumbles, this game will go to overtime. Mm-hmm. There's no way they're going to lose this game in regulation. And just all the improbable things that happened for Nebraska, the way it unfolded, and just 2 or 3 or 4 things that Minnesota did. If one of those things doesn't go right, Nebraska wins. And all 4 of them went right for Minnesota.
Yeah, I think we could get a board game where we would just have all the different ways you can lose a game, and Nebraska had every one of those spots filled over the last 5 years.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed, yes. Bingo, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever.
100%.
After one game, of course, there is a lot to get to. We can't do it without your help. Reach out and help guide our conversation. Our call room is up and running, manned by our sports intern, Hannah, and the students from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Joining us throughout the season, enjoying Valentino's Pizza and taking your calls. Put them to work tonight. You can also text or email us your comments or questions to bigred@nebraskapublicmedia.org. Our eyes are peeled on social media as well. So let us know your thoughts on Big Red Wrap-Up accounts, and we will answer as many of them as we can tonight. We promise this week. Don't forget to head to our website and download your copy of 2023 Nebraska football schedule. You can print out for your home, your office. Keep it around, keep up to date throughout the season on your Husker football scores. Last week, we asked you what you were looking forward to the most this season. 65% of you said a possible winning record, 24% said the new coaching staff, and the rest of you split it between the 3-3-5 defense, freshman talent, and transfer portal additions. How does that change after last week? Well, our new sideline survey is updated and ready for you to vote tonight as well. What area of the offense needs to see the most improvement for the Colorado game? Is it quarterbacks? Ding, ding, ding. Receivers, running backs, or the offensive line? Head to our website now to cast your vote and head back each week for a brand new survey. We knew that Jeff Sims had a propensity to turn the ball over. The numbers from Georgia Tech were right there. But I thought that Nebraska would call plays to protect him a little bit. Did it feel to you in the passing game they did the things to protect him from himself?
You want to say yes, but it's so hard to judge that because he has a propensity to stare down receivers.
Yeah.
He has a hard time going through his progressions, going from 1 to 2 to 3 to even a check down.
Yeah.
And with that being said, because listen, you don't know the play call, you don't know exactly what his first read is essentially, but that's tough. It's almost like when you call the play, it's like, hey, you have to throw here. This is where it's going to be, or hey, if one's not here, if the running back's not open on this flare out, you got to look to Fedona, whatever it is. But you got to be careful because you also got to let the thing kind of play out. Defense can do a good job of hiding things and scheming things, but I think
you
overall,
give him a half-field read where you're on a waggle or a bootleg, giving him one choice to throw to. That is a mesh concept with 3 different wide receivers with 4 defenders.
Well, that's as bad. You're throwing to 3 guys in the 10-yard area. That's
that
not
means
a good
on the other
play
side
call.
of the field, there's somebody singled up.
Yes, and that's almost, to me, that's a situation where they lined up incorrectly. But I don't think Nebraska was at a timeout, so they couldn't call timeout in that situation. So it's like, what are you going to do? So it's just a lot of things go into it. But I tell you what, I saw some good things from Jeff Sims, but he has to slow himself down. And this is the first game. This isn't Georgia Tech. This is an opening game against a Big Ten opponent on the road. Things got moving pretty fast for him, and he just wasn't able to adjust on the fly.
Yeah, I just think about Jeff Sims, and Minnesota only blitzed him 6 times.
Right.
24 pass drop backs. So a lot of those looks were 7, 8 guys back in coverage, tight windows. And those aren't easy decisions. They've got to figure out a way to loosen up the back end, because I think if 7 or 8 guys are dropped back like that, that's not a winning recipe. We saw that he just struggled seeing the field, making those reads. And Nebraska doesn't have big receivers. Like the lack of size and physicality to win, say, 50-50 balls.
Small windows with small receivers.
Just not a great combination. I mean, even like Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, I never looked at him as small, but on the field, my gosh, he looks small.
Yeah.
And he's out for the season now with his knee injury. So they've got to figure out ways to get more of these receivers involved, and obviously the running game. And I think the start of the game put Nebraska in a hole. When they're backed up at the 1-yard line opening possession, this always felt like they were in the hole as an offense.
They got a first down. They got a first down on the run, then they got a penalty. It felt to me like every penalty was at the worst time. Every penalty cost them either a first down or getting a score.
And they were 5-yarders, but Nebraska right now is not good enough to overcome those. I mean, they just Sims's ability to throw just didn't show there to get out of those holes.
What'd you think about the offensive line play for Nebraska?
Okay. I wasn't enamored with their protection. Minnesota was able, Sean already alluded to it, they didn't blitz very often, but they were able to get home with 3-man up front, and that 3-man front. I thought Corcoran struggled a little bit in pass pro on the left tackle. But they got I thought the physicality was there. They're able to move the ball running it. I'm encouraged by that, but I just don't like it when teams can get home only rushing 3 guys. You got 5 guys.
Right.
Plus
5
a back.
on 3, plus potentially a back if he doesn't, if he's staying in the check.
pattern,
If he doesn't, late release. Come on, you cannot let that happen. But it happened too many times. I think it'll get cleaned up. Again, I'm not going to overreact to game 1, but if I was giving him a grade, I'd probably give him a C- in this. So there's some room for improvement, but it wasn't the worst performance I've ever seen.
PFF isn't perfect, but Corcoran, as he mentioned, struggled, especially with free rush. Got one rusher on him, he was getting beat. Piper really struggled inside. What did PFF tell you about the offensive line?
Benhart actually, played a pretty solid game. I think on the right side, he looked improved.
Yep.
Nuri had a good game pass protecting for Nebraska. I mean, I thought that was notable when you looked at the numbers. Ben Scott kind of was what you thought he was, but clearly that left side with Corcoran. The question is, Teddy Prochazka, if it continues, when will they go to him? How far away is Teddy Prochazka? Because clearly, left tackle, we know what Turner Corcoran is. He's probably not a true Big Ten left tackle, but because of the situation of where Nebraska's at, they lost out on Walter Rouse from Stanford, Oklahoma.
Right.
And they had some things they tried to get figured out to improve the left tackle position, and they're in this hole still.
Yeah, and Teddy needs to get healthy, like you said. Although there were a lot of disappointments in the game, there were some bright spots as well. Let's take a look at the first Husker touchdown of the season, which is this week's play of the game, before digging into some of the more positives. Of course, as we learned after the game, the play of the game was called Osborne because Tom Osborne likes to run a trick play. How nervous were you right here when he dropped it?
Well, my first reaction was like, what's going on here? Is he going to run it? Even when Bullock catches it, I'm like, there's got to be a flag. Is there like a legal man downfield? Something like, but I tell you what, we finally got a ball to bounce away for once, it feels like in some of these games. Whenever
you see a running back do that little flare out, you know it's double pass. You just know it is. And I'd watched earlier in the day, it was another game, they read the exact same thing, and they missed a wide open guy. So at least he didn't miss the wide open guy.
Or drop it in the end zone.
Or didn't drop it in the end zone.
They were trying to run the bounce-a-rooski, it looked like.
Exactly. It was a different kind of bounce-a-rooski. Defense played really well. Against the run, depends on what you're doing in terms of numbers. About 2.2 yards a carry. Dominated the second half against Minnesota. They quit running the ball because Nebraska was shutting them down.
I mean, I thought it was notable. Minnesota threw it 35 times in the second half.
Yeah.
Nebraska's school record for attempts in a game is 68. So the pace of Minnesota's second half throwing, a team that doesn't like to throw, was at a pace greater than Tim Rattay in 1998, who still holds the record. I mean, that's remarkable. That was the most throws Minnesota's had in a game since 2015.
Yeah, not shocking because they do have right now very young running backs and more experienced wide receivers.
And a tight end.
Yeah, and when Nebraska's shutting you down like that, right?
And the last time PJ Fleck's team hasn't run for over 100 yards was against Syracuse last year in the bowl game against Tony White's 3-5.
Yeah.
So they knew, let's try to work this out, but they kind of know if we're going to struggle, we got to get rid of this game plan here rather quickly and go and try to get the quarterback out, out of the pocket a little bit and throw it because they flat out couldn't run the ball, which I love to see.
Who stood out to you the most in the defense?
I think on the back end, Deshaun Singleton. I mean, just when you look at what he did, just the physicality he brought, he jumped out. I mean, I would have liked to have seen more guys get home. I mean, I thought the pass rush was there at times.
It was.
They just, they're young guys in their first game, and it felt like Nebraska missed like 2 or 3 kind of kill shots that they could have had with their pass rush. And they subbed in a lot of those guys. 22 guys played. I think 17 played 10 or more snaps.
That first drive.
18
How many guys they played that first drive?
18 guys.
Another
played.
new guys in.
10 guys made tackles.
That was incredible. Yeah, that was incredible. What about offense? What was the highlight for you? Because we talked about a lot of negative stuff on the offense. What was the highlight for you on offense?
Oh, offensively, I tell you what, it's tough because we saw a lot of guys. You saw a lot of guys in the backfield between Gabe Ervin, Anthony Grant, Ramir Johnson. Surprisingly, Anthony Grant got 2 more carries than Gabe Ervin, so that was a kind of a shock to me. I don't know. It's tough. I can't really pick one person out. I thought Gabe ran hard.
Yeah,
obviously he got the ball on the turf, got it back. Anthony had his fumble. I honestly can't pick one person out. And I thought that performed rather well.
Sims is a runner. I thought he jumped in.
You say that.
And he only played one half, but I thought when Marcus Washington's on the field, they're a different offense. He's a good route runner. He's a little explosive. He makes a difference, I think.
Yeah, they just were lacking a presence at wide receiver. John Bullock's a solid role player. He does what he's supposed to do, but they didn't have much of a presence. Billy Kemp was supposed to be a presence. Thomas Fidone was.
Yeah.
No catches for that combo, which
only one target.
That just you can't. They're not going to win very many games if Kemp and Fidone are a non-factor in a game like that.
If Nebraska wins that game ball goes to Coach Foley. That's the best that special teams has played in years. I mean, every single phase of it. Yeah, the long kick return. First one since like 2017. Good punt coverage. They actually gained yards on punt return. Obviously made the field goal on the extra point. The punts averaged over 47 yards a punt. That was as good as a special teams
good point. As a tip of the cap. Tristan Alvano coming in as a true freshman. The situation wasn't too big for him, coming in and hammering a couple home. So yeah, I would agree with you. If they would have won that game, that man right there would definitely got the game ball.
It really shows you a special teams coordinator. You concentrate on it, can be better.
Well, and Minnesota tried to run back 3 kicks. They didn't cross the 19.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a great job of pinning Minnesota inside the 20 the 3 times, and that matters, guys, especially when you're playing a team like Minnesota.
Yeah.
That helps, and Nebraska just has not had that kind of consistency with their special teams. And we saw guys like Gabar making tackles. I mean,
he did. Yeah.
Players that you weren't ever accustomed to seeing do things for Nebraska.
The G's not pronounced, by the way. The new thing on Nebraska is you go to the roster, they have them pronouncing it. He doesn't say the G. He says Bayer.
Bayer.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, now we know.
There we go.
There were definitely some gleams of hope in the program despite the loss. Let's dive into the highlights from Thursday's game in Minneapolis. We start off with was a pretty nice day there in Minneapolis. Gold out, not quite sold out, I don't think. We go straight to the second quarter after a 0-0 first quarter. One of 2 runs of 10 yards or more. Only 2 runs, 1 for 10 and 1 for 11 the entire game for Minnesota. Nebraska did some good stuff. Field goal there to go up 3-0 for Minnesota. Pretty early on, we saw that Jeff Sims was going to be able to run the ball a little bit on them. 19 total rushes. What would you like to see as an optimal number, you think, for him?
Well, it's just some of those are QB scrambles, obviously. For right now, I would say less than 10. I'd be happy with that, just because you worry about the injury issues. But I tell you what, he's going to have to run the football, just because Nebraska's not good enough on the offensive line. They need that +1 in the mathematics against the defense.
There's an interception there. It's triple coverage, but also Billy Kemp's not big enough to really go up and disturb it. Here's one of the times where Sean was talking about, he didn't get home there. It was a nice chase down, but didn't get home. They get a first down on that one. And early on, Kalimakis was great. He actually went, I think, 6 of his first 8. So he was really good early on. But because Nebraska gets a stop, Benz does not break. Missed field goal there, keeping the game at 3-0 at that point. We get a good pass right here looking inside. You know what I noticed? No runs after catch. There was none of that. This probably should have been a touchdown. We see on the replay later, because then you have the offsides here or the false start. Gives them a chance to go back and look at the review, and to everybody it seemed like he was touchdown, right?
Even the review, I can't remember who was on the, back at the LA Fox studios. Blandino. He's like, this should be a touchdown, and for some reason they didn't call it. I mean, this looks like there was enough evidence there to overturn that.
Then Sean here, Forfeiture's open.
Yeah, it's just Jeff Sims, and like you mentioned earlier, Michael, just too many people in that area. I mean, you're on the short side of the field, and you decide to put all your routes right in the middle of that area. It wasn't a well-designed moment of play.
At halftime, they went in, said, we're okay, we're in a good spot, still winning down 3-0, and then Ramir Johnson does this.
Yeah, we haven't seen this in a long time.
2017.
I mean, that's awesome. Love this. This is the way you start off a half and getting this thing going, and then obviously a couple plays later, here we go.
Our play of the game, they called Osborne because he liked to do trick plays, but perfect. And I know Bullock says afterwards he had his hand up, right? Because he didn't think that Jeff Sims saw him. He was worried he didn't see him. That would be tough to miss. There's one guy standing out there in your jersey. It'd be hard to miss him.
Well, this is the kind of play that you practice, and you just pray they call it.
You hope it works out.
It worked.
And great for Tristan Alvano to come in there and get his first kick, get that, probably the nerves off him a little bit. Here's a big play that's going to affect this week as well. Ty Robinson comes in, lowers his head, standard targeting.
Yeah, you just got to be smart. You can't do it. If anything, try to take a shoulder, but again, you just can't hit the quarterback, period, anymore.
Yeah. One of the things, like off level throws, throwing sidearms, some of the throws he made were really good. And, this is not a good one. Omar Brown goes back home.
Minneapolis native, not recruited by the Gophers. I know that was a big moment for him with a lot of friends and family there.
This is what we've been waiting for from Gabe Ervin, right? This is a 230-pound guy, 6 foot tall, just runs over somebody.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, free hitter right in the hole, no chance, and he just breaks it off, and you gotta love to see that.
I'd like in that situation if he could get his right hand down, that guy who's coming in his legs, and try to get him off from that. That'd be kind of nice, but it's a great run right there. Now we're on to Jeff Sims again. Makes a throw that kind of misses Bullock a little bit, gets tackled there. Has to settle for a field goal. But before that, you had another false start. Could have got a touchdown from Anthony Grant, but ended up, obviously the play called it, the penalty called it back, and that didn't happen. Here's Jeff Sims again. No runs after catches. They're all right where the ball's thrown. They've got to get more rack yards. You can't have that. And then here's really the biggest play of the game.
Yep, and you've seen it through camp and heard it throughout camp. Anthony Grant had the fumble issues, and it crept up on us right there at a bad time.
You are a big defender. This guy is 6'7", 270. Span forward is. Were you ever 6'7", 270?
I was 6'5", 280.
280.
I've never been 6'7", though.
And you're running as a tight end. This is amazing football.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Yeah, and it's fourth down, and Herzog, he got beat on it.
Well, you have
still,
to.
It's a great
he needs to do a better job. His help was inside.
He's got to stay outside.
He's got to stay. He has outside leverage. You got to stay there.
Yeah, but what an amazing catch to have that back leg get down while you have the front leg up. That was a great job. Of course, the extra point there to tie it. Starts off this drive, and I know right here I felt when he got this run and got the first down, I thought, okay, Nebraska can have a nice 2-minute drive, end it with a field goal by Tristan Alvano and walk out the win.
And there was a really good throw by him there. That was nice.
This is a great throw and a great route, but you almost come right back to it.
I know it.
And it's read by a guy who's probably going to be a first or second round pick in the NFL draft. Made it pretty easy there.
I would have liked to have seen a design run there with Sims. Just kind of keep it going. I mean, he was hot. He could have got him in field goal range.
This run to get him in field goal range was a product of their coach making a good decision to let the clock burn instead of calling his timeout so he could do it right there. Of course, that means 13-10, Nebraska loses. Minnesota wins. We take a look at the final stats. I mean, Nebraska's right there, 181 yards rushing to only 55 for Minnesota. Total yards, 295 to 251. But the big one comes down there with the turnovers. 4 turnovers to 1 total, 3 interceptions and 1 fumble as well. So that tells you what happens. Our players of the game against Minnesota, Alex Bullock for his first touchdown as a Husker, and Omar Brown, as Sean said, going back home for a big-time interception in the third quarter. Again, there's a lot of good things to look at, right? A lot of good things. But it's those turning the ball over and those 7 penalties that really cost them the game.
And this is a team that Nebraska hasn't beaten since 2018, and you felt like they should have won that game.
Yeah.
And nobody picked Nebraska to win this game.
True.
That was the funny, but as you watch it, you're like, Nebraska should be winning this game. They should win. And I mean, everyone's angry. I mean, when you walk around the state of Nebraska, there's this anger, and then you're even more mad right now because Colorado looks so good in their opener.
Yeah, that's the big part of it, how good they look, no doubt. Next up on the show, we'll break down a few plays and be joined by friend of the show, Fox Sports' Kevin Kugler. As we go to break, check out the sights from the Gold Out game in Minneapolis, courtesy of Hurrdat Sports. Stay with us. We're back soon.
All right, welcome back to Big Red Wrap-Up. Let's take a couple looks at a couple great defensive plays. We'll highlight the defense because they played really well against Minnesota last Thursday night. So first play, we're going to look at the Hutchmacher's sack here on 3rd and 10, getting off the field. So obviously he's over the shade here, lined up in the center. Nebraska's showing a 6-man front. I think this kind of confused O-line because really no one blocks him. But being a big man over the center, nose guard, he kind of gets in some unfamiliar territory, and he does a really good job of getting the QB down in this situation. But he gets him some help in this situation from the outside linebacker up top. Does a really good job beating the right tackle, and the quarterback has just nowhere to run. But a really good job of a big dude, a big guy getting the quarterback down because that's not an easy spot. I've been there many times and I've missed. So let's go to the next play here. Is the Omar Brown interception. So Omar's on the guy in the slot. So in this situation, it's almost an alert. Why are these guys lined up so close into the field, right? So initially you're going to see this route. It's called the scissors route or a 7-8 switch. A 7 route is a corner route and 8 routes towards the field goal post. So they know it. They got it read perfectly. As you let the play go, he's going to read it. So you see these guys get some space, but as you see, the scissors with the X, he's putting his foot in the ground. He has it already read, diagnosed, does a great job of undercutting this thing. Boom. Pick, first turnover for the Big Red, for the defense, gets the ball back to the offense, so they get some points.
Lost the game the way we did for the guys, right? Not for me, for the guys. Upset for them. While at the same time, recognizing how much better the football is than early last year. And so I'm proud of that for them.
We just had some mistakes, especially towards the end of the game, but nothing that we can't fix. We've been practicing it the last couple of days, trying to do that, and we really just focused on the Minnesota game the day after, and now we're moved on to Colorado, looking ahead.
His poster was on people's walls for a reason as a player, because he's one of the hardest practicing, hardest playing people that's ever played the game, right? So why would we think that his team wouldn't be the same?
For me, the reason why I say I circled that game is just for me because you know, them the games you want. Like, I love going against competition. I love going against them skilled players, you know, players potentially that's going to play in the NFL. So, I mean, some players might back away from it, but, I mean, I just can't wait for it. It'll be fun.
You know, this has to be football. This can't be about tempo. This can't be about altitude. This can't be about playing a ranked opponent or being on the road. It just has to be football. And if we do that, you know, that's what we've done all training camp. We'll have a chance.
We are pleased to be joined by, it says here, good friend Kevin Kugler.
No, I mean, as long as you're reading what it says.
Thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate it.
It was a real thrill to be invited back. It's the first time I've been back on the set since you asked me to leave the show. And
no, we've had you on Zoom a few times.
No, but I haven't been back on the set yet.
That is true.
I had to come back because everybody is talking about this being Sean's 20th year of being on this show. And so I thought, I've got to come back for the 20th year of Sean Callahan.
Did you bring a cake?
No, I did not. No. I brought nothing.
Where's that audition tape?
Yeah, well, I mean, the audition tape's been lost to history. Per your request, we don't have that anymore.
I have a question. I've been thinking about this a lot since you do so much NFL.
Yep.
And you have a chance to sit down with coaches and talk to them. We always hear it's so different for head coaches from college to the NFL, and many of them struggle. What do you think the biggest difference is for the head coaches?
I think one of the biggest differences is the personality of the player and the power you have over said player. I think that's very challenging for a college coach who has the ultimate power over a player to then go to the National Football League and have a guy go, I really don't care what you think. I make more than you. I'm making more than you. Right. I'm making guaranteed money. I'm not too worried about that. And I think that's some of the challenge that Matt Rule ran into at Carolina. And look, he's not alone. Yeah, you said, I mean, there are a lot of guys who have, I mean, Nick Saban is one of the most remarkable college coaches of all time. Maybe top 3, top 5, maybe the number 1.
Yep.
But he wasn't exactly gangbusters at the NFL level. I just think it's harder for some coaches to adjust to that personality and all the money and the contracts involved and everything at the next level.
With Matt Rule in Nebraska, I mean, when he took this job, were you surprised? I mean, knowing the money that he was going to be able to get for not working, how surprised were you that he took this job when he did?
You know, I was a little surprised that he took the job only because I thought he would sit out for a year. But the man loves to coach and the man loves to build. And I think what he learned from his Carolina experience is maybe the NFL is not for him. College is where he has thrived. And we've seen it at Temple. We've seen it at Baylor. And I really do think we're going to see it at Nebraska. I recognize what's happened over the course of the last 8 days or whatever it's been in the state. It feels like 8 days since they lost that opening game. There's a long way to go. And I realize you've got the juxtaposition of Nebraska and Colorado right now. What happened with Colorado in their first game under Deion? What happened to Matt Rule in his first game at Nebraska? It's hard for me to read into one game on either side of this thing.
You've called games at almost every level. What's the secret sauce to winning close games? There's got to be something because for some reason Nebraska has not had that sauce on the table for years now.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Part of it's luck. I mean, there's always a certain amount of luck involved. Sure. There has to be. Part of it's execution. But again, 20 years ago, Nebraska decided to get on this merry-go-round.
Yeah.
And when you are a team and a program that lacks consistency, it shows up in little areas year in and year out. And, I mean, you look at those one-score games and Nebraska's record in them. This is a program that has lacked consistency. It's lacked consistency at head coach. It's lacked consistency from a culture standpoint. It's lacked consistency from a scheme standpoint. Yeah. And until you can get past all of that, and I know Matt Rule said it's not about anything that happened before, but it is for the fan base. And that's who you're hearing from right now. This is a scarred fan base right now. Yeah. There are scabs upon scabs upon scabs on the fan base from Scottsbluff to Omaha and all points in between. It's not been easy.
You know, people talked about, 1-11 for Colorado last year. All those guys are gone.
Yeah.
Many of the Nebraska players who have gone through this the last 2-3 years are still here.
There's players on this team that were in Boulder in 2019.
Yeah. For that game.
It's just, it's crazy to think. I bet there's not one guy on this Colorado team that was in Boulder for that game.
Oh, no way. Yeah. They only had like 4 guys.
There's only 3 or 4 guys left.
that are left total, yeah.
And look, I think what Deion Sanders is doing is remarkable, but I don't think there's somebody that can do that. I don't think that's what Matt Rule can do at Nebraska. It's not what Mike Norvell has done at Florida State. I love the Norvell comparison. 3 wins his first year, stepped it up to 5 wins his next year, then 10 wins in his third year. I think that's more the progression you have to expect at a place like Nebraska. He's not bringing it in. Can you imagine? Everybody's looking at what Colorado's doing right now. And everybody's saying, oh, my gosh, how great is that? Look at that. They win a big game. They score all these points. They have all this talent. And they do. They have a lot of talent.
Sure.
But how would this state have reacted to a coach coming in and telling 80 Nebraska kids, you can't play here anymore, please go away?
We're cutting you.
There's no, people would have been absolutely beside themselves. There's no way they would have liked that. There weren't enough people, and this is no offense to the good folks at Colorado, there weren't enough people left that cared about Colorado football when that happened.
True.
They're like, I don't care, get rid of all these guys. Now Deion's doing his thing. It's a different animal, though. It's a different beast, Colorado football, and where Nebraska is right
No
now.
doubt.
I agree. So the psychological warfare, or the psychology of how you approach a season before the first game is always very unique to me. In Colorado, all the naysayers, the receipts that were taken by Deion, whatever he said, they can use that to their power. Now it's flipped.
Oh,
it's
there's no
completely
doubt.
flipped.
There's
I mean,
no doubt.
they're first seen on First Take. I mean, everybody, national media. How do you think now they respond to this after saying no one trusts you, no one believes you, believes in you? All of a sudden, you're now ranked in the top 25.
Here's the brilliance that I think that Deion Sanders has. It's all about Deion Sanders. And that's a good thing because he takes in so much of the spotlight.
Yeah.
He takes in so much of the conversation that a really good staff and very talented skill position players, all they have to do is work.
Yeah.
They're working. Deion's doing shows. Deion's doing media. Deion's talking about Deion. Deion's talking about receipts and all this other stuff, which is great for his kids because all they do is go out and work on football. They game plan. They practice. They prepare. And Deion does the rest. If you're going to do this and have a personality like Deion Sanders, you have to use it. And that's the brilliance of Deion Sanders is he's out there drawing all that attention. And the other guys, they just go and work.
Colorado obviously heading to the Big 12 next year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they could be a national program again to where you're talking about them winning a conference, playing for something important come December?
That's the question I have because Shedeur Sanders is not going to be long for Colorado.
That's right.
Is there another son on
Neither
the
is
way?
Travis Hunter.
No, neither is Travis Hunter. I mean, this is a short-term right now situation.
Right.
Because while there's great talent at the skill position, and they're better talent at the skill position than Nebraska at quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Yeah. I mean, there's skill talent there that he brought in immediately. Mm-hmm. That's not going to be there in a year or two. Can he build on that? And I know Sean will talk about it later, but, Nebraska's recruiting pretty well right now under Matt Rule.
Right.
Colorado's yet to get that generated. I think Deion Sanders is a force of personality. He can get people in there. But can you get people like that in there year in and year out? Maybe you can. But right now, the only thing you can say is this year, these guys have a chance. I don't know if it's sustainable 4 or 5 years down the road. It's a fascinating thing to see.
On the flip side, with the Big Ten growing to 18 teams and maybe bigger, I mean, we don't know how much bigger it's going to get.
Yep.
How scary is it for Nebraska? They've got to get this thing figured out quickly.
Yeah, you may say there's no margin for error anymore, but I just don't think there's a whole lot of room for Nebraska to fiddle around anymore. You've got to get this thing right this time.
Trev Alberts said that.
Yeah,
you've got to stay in a big conference. You've got to win, have good APR.
You have to.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to keep this thing relevant. And, you need to have patience with this build because this is where Nebraska is right now. 20 years ago, everybody decided that it was time for a change, and then change upon change upon change upon change. And that's where you are. You've got to allow this man to build the culture that he has built in places that didn't have the tradition or the ability to recruit the way Nebraska does.
Yeah, let me ask you a question that's never been asked.
All right.
Should they have fired Frank Solich?
You know what? That's a heck of a question. We're going to open up the phone lines and get your thoughts on that. No, I don't.
That's 20. That's 20 years
it's
ago.
20 years.
And you think back to those moments where after that Colorado game, and I know I was at the Big Red Breakfast before that, and I thought to myself, there's no way they're firing this man.
Yeah.
There's no way.
And
then
they won.
the next day, and they win the game, and then the next day he's gone, and.
Yeah, I know. We could rehash history, and I know we have many times over the course of the last 2 decades. But, that is really that's the pivot point of the entire history of Nebraska football.
Right.
Because everything changed then. And there were those of us in the media locally at the time who said, be careful what you wish for, because programs that get on that carousel rarely get off that carousel without a lot of hardship. Now, I don't think anybody thought it'd be 20 years of wandering in the wilderness, more or less, but it's been that.
Yeah, and not going to a bowl game since 2016. You couldn't have told anybody that. I remember when they missed that first bowl game in 2004 after 36 years. I was like, this is incredible.
It's just one game.
It's just one game.
Well, then they voted not to go to a bowl in 2020.
Yeah,
You
right.
think about all the missteps in history, we wouldn't be talking about this. I mean, they had a chance to go to a bowl.
I mean, when Kansas went last year, they're the only Power
Yep.
5 team that hasn't been to a bowl in the
Yep.
last 5 years. A team that went to a bowl for every year of a lot of our lives. I
Yeah.
mean, it's crazy.
And for us, it's like, let's vote on this and see what. Oh crap, they don't want to go.
It's been a long year. We don't want to do it.
But you talked about Mark Norvell at Florida State.
Yeah.
3-9, 5-7.
Right.
And last year they finally had the first successful season. I think they went 10-2, won the bowl game last year, beat Oklahoma, I believe, in the bowl game. If that's the route that Nebraska might have to take, I mean, is there enough patience to deal with that kind of route though, going 3-9, 5-7?
Here's the thing. We as fans and people in the state may not have that patience, but the guy in charge, Trev Alberts, has that patience, and the guy in charge of the football program, Matt Rule, has the patience. And that's really all that matters at this point.
The contract too.
Yeah, they have the contract, they have the patience. And this is not going to be a situation where in year 3 at the beginning of the year, Trev's going, oh, you got to get some stuff done. I mean, there's not going to be any ultimate. It's Trev's guy, it's Trev's contract, and it's a guy who knows how to build a program. So I hate to say it, but what choice do you have at this point? I mean, you have to ride it out.
Let's talk some NFL. You've got one conference in the AFC that's loaded with quarterbacks, loaded with talent, and then you have the NFC.
Yeah.
You're doing some NFC games.
I am. Yep.
What's the feel NFL-wise for that? Just feel really uneven to you the way everything's breaking down?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's kind of gone opposite of what it used to be, right?
Yep.
I mean, the NFC used to have the quarterbacks and the power and the prominence, and now the AFC has sort of tilted that with Burrow and with Josh Allen and with Patrick Mahomes, everybody residing in the AFC.
Yeah.
You've got a few in the NFC, but, you know, I'm starting this weekend in Seattle, and you've got Geno Smith, who
came out of nowhere.
Yeah, came out of nowhere. 10 years in the league and signed a 3-year deal, but it's a deal that Seattle can get out of every single year.
Right.
And Matthew Stafford starting for the Rams. I mean, Matthew Stafford is as old as you are. So
Not quite.
and that's very old.
Yes.
I mean, if you're watching, that's very
old. Yes.
And you know, then Brock Purdy, a 7th-round pick in that division, and Arizona hasn't even announced who they're starting. So you just have a lot of imbalance at the quarterback position. And kind of honestly, you see it in college. There's a lot. The quarterback position makes such a difference, whatever level of football you're playing.
Let's look at the schedule. Get your take on what you think about the remaining schedule for Nebraska. Obviously, getting a bowl game, you got to win 6. If you lose this week, it's going to make it pretty tough.
You see on there Northern Illinois, and I know Northern Illinois beat Boston College, but both of those games at home, you would think Nebraska could win. It's a short week to go to Illinois, but Illinois didn't look great in week 1. I still think they'll figure something out. Northwestern looked absolutely terrible.
Horrible.
Purdue didn't look very good.
Fresno got them.
I mean, if you count Illinois as a win, there's 5 potential wins.
Yeah.
Is there one more other than outside of Colorado, Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Iowa?
Maryland and Michigan State, I think, are probably the best bets.
See, and I think Maryland's really good. I think
no,
they've
they're
got a lot of
talented.
talent.
Late in the season, they have not played well.
Right.
Whatever reason. I don't know why. But
And look, the Iowa game is always the Iowa game. That always has a different feel to it. And who knows what Iowa's going to look like at that point in the season, too.
Very true.
I mean, you never know with the Hawkeyes.
Kevin, we appreciate it.
This has been so fun. I've so enjoyed seeing all of you.
Happy 20 years of Sean.
I mean, I hope here's for 70 or 80 more of Sean. I mean, who wouldn't want 90 years of Sean in their television?
I don't think anyone wants that. But
What was how did you get on the show?
I don't know.
Did you get over 20?
I don't remember. No, I think you chased me. No, is this where Sean wants to just say, "Oh, I've got more than you"?
Then as you ride your limo to the NFL game.
I think you did 20, so that's right. Kevin, we appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll stop talking now.
All right, now it's time to announce our game day photo contest winner. Laura Bradley sent these in of her family all decked out in Husker gear for the season opener. Thanks for sharing with us, Laura. Don't miss out on your chance to send us the best game day photos for your chance to win prizes like these throughout the season. We want to see you in your game day best, so make sure you send in those photos from your tailgate inside the stadium or even from your watch party at home. We'll take those as well. Now it's time to look at some of the best from social media. This Thursday, Nebraska Public Media sports intern Hannah. Last week, I'm sorry I got confused. Producer's name is Hannah. Your name is Hannah. This is Hannah number 2.
Yeah.
What do we have from social media?
All right, I got 2 posts for you today. The first one we got is written by The Owl. They wrote, "This is glorious. Nebraska versus Minnesota was a great start to college football." And they have this screenshot here with our win probability against Minnesota. As you can see, it was quite the roller coaster for Nebraska fans.
It's coming. It's coming. It was, I think, a 93%, 94%
Yep.
chance to win according to ESPN's win probability. And of course, win probability is not always right.
Yes.
Yes.
We quickly had our odds changed, as you can see in the graph.
Yeah, I see your graph you're holding, yes. There it is.
Yeah, right there.
So
All
it
right.
goes from all the way up there, all the way to down there.
Split second.
Yes.
All right, and then our second post we got for you, written by Austin Mock.
yeah.
We got the classic Spider-Man meme, Matt Rule versus Scott Frost. And I think we were hoping for something a little new this season.
Yes, that would be good.
But we kind of ended up with the same thing, not a win.
No doubt. Hannah, we appreciate it. We'll see you all season long.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Next up, Sean and I will dive into some recruiting updates, and then we look ahead to Colorado. But first, another look at the game day photos courtesy of Hurrdat Sports. Welcome back to Big Red Wrap-Up. I'm Michael Severe, Sean Callahan. Time to talk some recruiting. Obviously a big recruiting weekend for Colorado, but it's a national televised game. Everybody watching it. Big one for Matt Rule, too.
Yeah, Nebraska's kind of been at a disadvantage. They've gone on the road 2 straight weeks, but the advantage is they're on Fox 2 straight weeks.
Very true.
All the eyes in the nation are going to be on Nebraska again here this weekend. So what an opportunity for Nebraska. Then they'll come back home for a night game. I think an opportunity to get a lot of visitors on campus. In fact, I know it's going to be a big weekend, not necessarily of 2024.
But 2025, yeah.
The 25s, and maybe even the 26 guys.
That makes sense. Let's talk about Christian Jones.
Yeah, you talk about 2025. Christian Jones is without a doubt the top player in the state of Nebraska for the class of 2025. He's got offers from USC, Oklahoma, obviously Nebraska, you name it. 4-star, top 250 level talent. I think the most impressive feat at his size, Michael, is the track numbers.
How big is he?
He is 6'3", 225-ish.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's big. I mean, he ran a 10.8, 10.9 electronic. He was in the final heat of the state championship in the Class A 100-meter dash this year.
Wow.
And that was Jalen Lloyd, Malachi Coleman,
Yeah.
and one of the better groups of runners we've seen in a state track meet.
And for a 3.35, you want to have those linebackers be tall and a little bit bigger, and have a lot of wingspan, so he kind of fits that.
No doubt. I mean, he could be that jack. I mean, he could be an inside guy, too. I think he's got the ability to play either one of those spots, depending on how he develops down the road.
That's awesome. All right, let's go to our phones. Our phone guest this time, Donovan Jones. Donovan, we appreciate you taking the time, of course. Omaha North High School, Nebraska commit. How you feeling, Donovan?
I'm feeling good.
Well, Donovan, first tell your story a little bit, because obviously Nebraska was looking at you, but things picked up hot and heavy this summer after you went to Nebraska's camp and had a great workout.
Yeah, just that workout, like, that was just huge for me. Like, they were talking to me before, but not as heavy. And then I went to the camp and balled out, got eyes from the coaches, and then got that call the next morning and got the offer.
Diamond, let's talk about the season. I don't know where they had you guys ranked before the season started, but how are you feeling about how you guys are playing so far?
We started the season at 4, and then beat Bellevue West first, went up to 2 or 3, and we were feeling good. Went into Millard West week, and I think our team overall just got a little bit too comfortable. And we should have just been like more humble and like went into that game just hit them in the mouth early. But I mean, it was a good game. We're going to bounce back this week versus Columbus, and we should be a good team and to watch out for.
What are your strengths? Describe your skill set, Donovan, and how Nebraska sees you being utilized in their defense.
I would definitely say how I can play like any position in that defensive back. I can play like that rover, strong safety, or free safety. Lately this season, I've been doing good on the tackling game, trying to work on more like getting in that passing game, getting interceptions, getting my name in the paper, just things like that.
Hey, Donovan, we appreciate it. Have a great rest of the season and stay healthy, man.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, the way that secondary is set up in the 3-3-5, you need guys who are versatile, who can come down and make tackles and cover in space, and he's built that way.
Well, and bigger body. I mean, you almost have to have linebackers that can play safety.
Exactly.
And guys that have that size.
Yeah.
Like Deshaun Singleton. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
And, Gifford, too. I mean, Gifford's almost a linebacker-ish.
Yeah, remember the first guy in the 3-3-5 to play that position, the Lobo position, Brian Urlacher, to tell you what kind of body that plays that position. So, no doubt. Sean, we appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Be sure to vote on this week's Sideline Survey question. What area of the offense needs to improve the most for the Colorado game? Let me see. Yeah, I thought so. Quarterbacks, 58%. Wide receivers, just 4%. Offensive line, 25%. And running backs, 13%. Be sure to visit the Wrap Up website and cast your vote right now. All right, so Colorado. The thing that amazes me the most, it wasn't like I didn't think that Deion could coach or that he would have talent. I didn't believe, and like things are changed, you could bring in 68 new guys, and not in the spring, in the summer, and get them all playing together to where they look that good. That's remarkable. I know it's a new era with the transfer portal and everything, but that's incredible.
No, it is very incredible, and I tip the cap. I mean, that is. Yeah. I was not expecting to see that type of performance against TCU on Saturday afternoon. I'm like, whoa, this is different. I mean, last year Colorado lost by an average of 29 points a game.
Yep.
Only one win. That was the highest point differential amongst any of the FBS teams last year. And for that to turn around to go on the road, and I know TCU's slightly different. They only returned 3 starters on their defense from last year from a team that played in the national championship game. But for them to do that on the road and just be that explosive on offense, make enough plays on defense when they need to, and to flat out win. I mean, they were a 3-point underdog, and I think myself and everybody that watches college football in the United States was supremely impressed, and they're the talk of the town right now.
What impressed you the most by them?
Like you said, just the way they came together, because having so many guys come on campus, I mean, that clearly had to be their emphasis all summer. You only get 8 hours a week with your players all summer. You can have 2 non-padded semi-practices. You can have 2 hours of meetings and 4 hours of lifting, and what they maximize out of that. Clearly Colorado, you didn't hear a lot about their summer recruiting. They weren't running like big camps. Their focus was on this roster, these transfer portal guys, getting them ready to go, where Nebraska, their summer approach was obviously like, let's find diamonds in the rough. Let's build our future of Nebraska. Just completely polar opposites of how these two programs are being built.
You had 4 guys with 100 yards receiving. You had a quarterback of 510 yards passing, and Travis Hunter played 1 million plays in the game. Those are the players to watch out for. They are incredibly talented. And, of course, Chris Sanders, who is Deion's son, just looked as polished as any quarterback you'll see in Power 5.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Yes, Sanders, I mean, just how comfortable he looked. And he's not a tuck in and run guy.
No.
I mean, he's going to sit back there almost like a Jameis Winston and read the field, make the right throws. He's so comfortable in the pocket. I mean, for his first game against a team that played in the college football playoff, and they were in the FCS ranks a year ago, to have that kind of performance.
Yeah, it was impressive. Very
Question
impressive.
for you from Facebook, defensive question. Do you think Nebraska sits in a too high look for them, like kind of just sits back a little bit and almost makes them want to run the ball?
Yep. It just depends. They ran a lot of mesh routes against TCU, and TCU like to kind of sit back more in man coverage, and that's what you like to do. Try to get crossing, you rub guys off, and try to pick guys off in that situation. And they did a poor job of tackling. I mean,
they did really bad.
They sat off them a lot of times, and but I think overall, I think Nebraska will sit in the too high. They can. I don't think you want to get in a man-to-man situation a lot, unless they'll bring pressure, and that's when you'll have to get in your man-to-man situation. But it's a very interesting chess match going on, because if you go in on first and second down, Nebraska can be very successful on third down. I don't think that's where TCU kind of struggled. They just Colorado was very successful on first and second down. So it's gonna be fun to see just that whole how it's gonna play out. Because I tell you what, if you want to bring pressure, you got to be they could hit their head in the goalpost real quick, scoring 6 points.
There's only a couple times where Colorado struggled on different drives, and it was when they struggled on first and second down. Put them in long, and that offensive line's not great.
Well, and you got to be ready for those deep shots too. Colorado will test the deep shot of Nebraska, and the offensive line is a liability. I think they were able to build a game plan that worked for them, but I still question, is that a true Power 5 offensive line? The guys they brought in, in this short notice without continuity, because it is not easy to build a line through the portal, especially when NIL, because Colorado has NIL, but I don't think
they don't have a collective like that.
They don't have the Tennessee type, the NIL you're seeing in other places. So you just, the guys they got were from like the MAC conference and other, places, and it's worked for game one. And O'Boyle's a great line coach. The guy they have there, he's at Chadron State for many years. And to have those guys playing like that in week one was impressive.
Daniel asked, how should Nebraska offense adjust to the smaller Colorado defense, especially on the front?
Run the ball.
Yeah, down their throats, right?
Run it right at them. This thing, I know Nebraska ran about 65% of the time against Minnesota. Would love to see that number, if not higher, 7% of the time. I mean, just absolutely stick it to them. It's a 4-minute drill every quarter, and you're snapping this thing late in the play clock, and it's just 3-4 yards, boom. And then you can run some RPOs, some boots off of it. You can do some things with Jeff Sims in the run game. But I'm telling you, it needs to be a healthy dose of Gabe Ervin. Let Anthony Grant come in there, take some heat off of him. Put Ramir in there in some third down situations, but it's Gabe Ervin left, Gabe Ervin right. Maybe we see some fullback traps, dives. I'm talking old school, like what we saw back in the early '90s, going to Boulder and playing that type of run game.
Go full Big Ten on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wear your Big Ten t-shirt, everything.
Yes. You got to make it. You can't. This can't be on. It can't be spread out. This game needs to be put in a phone booth. It needs to be tight, because that's just Colorado doesn't want to play that way.
Make it Kansas State when Behringer's out. And it's just
Chad May.
Lawrence Phillips has got the bad thumb. You just keep giving him the ball over and over again. Let me ask you a couple of questions from here. How big of a gap is it, you believe, from Jeff Sims to Heinrich Haarberg or Purdy? Like, if they were struggling, could you see them go back to another quarterback?
That's a great question, because we've seen Purdy throw. And, as he was prepared, he was better later in the year. When he got in his first game, he wasn't really prepared to go in against Illinois, and he looked bad. But I think Purdy got way better as the year went on. I do think Haarberg's going to play in some capacity, whether it's tight end or fullback or receiver. They've kind of made that clear. They need him to play. I still think the gap is fairly sizable. I mean, Jeff Sims has over 20-some Power 5 starts under his belt now, and nobody on the roster has that kind of experience.
Do you challenge their wide receivers with, like, you get up in their face and make them beat you?
I think you gotta pick your poison. It's just very timely. I think it's just depending on what you want to do. You have to be very distinct in how you want to disguise coverages. Like you said, you have to be very careful. I always say, as a defensive guy, you always have to put yourself in the best situation pre-snap to win.
Right.
So you got to know where your help is, and you just got to play within the defense. And I think if you can get up there, if you feel comfortable, you can get a jam on, maybe your arms are longer. And they struggle against the press against TCU. I didn't see much press coverage against when they played TCU. So maybe you get up there and you jam them up and throw them off, throw that timing off. Or you dial up some pressures and get Shedeur Sanders uncomfortable back there.
Let's go to burning questions. Sean first.
My burning question is, can Jeff Sims get his issues corrected here, see the field better, and be more of a dual threat, not just a runner, but a thrower?
Run the ball, time of possession. That's the biggest thing. I think Nebraska gets the major time of possession. I'm talking like 40-minute time of possession. I like this one and for the Big Red.
My burning question is 21-11. It's been 21 since Nebraska beat a team that was ranked overall, and 11 since they won against a ranked team on the road. Can they fix those two numbers? Don't forget to head to our website and Facebook page and click on the prediction. Jay, Sean, and I will tell you exactly what to expect on Saturday. Nebraska looks to take on rival Colorado under new head coach Deion Sanders in Boulder. Kickoff for that game is 11 a.m. Central, of course, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Next Tuesday, we'll recap the game right here with former Husker linebacker number 44, Jay Foreman. More volleyball action comes your way on Nebraska Public Media this weekend as the 16th-ranked Creighton Blue Jays take on the Omaha Mavericks in Baxter Arena Friday night at 7 p.m. Then the 4th-ranked Huskers welcome in Long Beach State to the Bob Devaney Sports Center on Saturday at 7 p.m. Catch both matches right here on Nebraska Public Media. One last question before we do this. When you look at this game, do you think it's a fourth-quarter game? If you were going to guess?
They're always a fourth-quarter game with Nebraska. I think the program's at a point right now where very rarely in a Power 5 on Power 5, Nebraska's going to be good enough to just blow the doors off teams.
Yeah, here's a secret. We all think Nebraska can win it.
100%.
We all think they can win it.
It's going to be a four-quarter game, but they got to take a good start. You can allow Colorado to get a couple body blows on you early and get up 14-0. Otherwise, it's going to be tough sledding for us.
Be interested to see how they are if they are behind. They were ahead most of that whole game, and it was close. It'd be interesting to see if they were down 10, how they would handle that.
And just having a film, too. Nebraska has a film. Oh, my gosh. I mean, that is such an advantage to have all of that day Saturday to watch that tape, then get out there Sunday. I mean, Nebraska, in terms of preparation, has a really good leg up going into this game.
Yeah, TCU had no idea what they were going to do, didn't know about their talent. To be able to sit there and watch it, how helpful is that as a defensive player?
Oh, totally, 100%. Because as a defensive-minded D coordinator, you know where your defenses are weak at.
Right.
So you got to protect that. Where do you think they're going to try to attack you? You try to scheme and do some certain things. And it's hard to get tendencies through one game.
Sure.
But you have tendencies. They have tendencies on offense. We have tendencies, what we like to call on defense. You just try to pick your poison and try to find mismatches in those situations.
Of course, they have tape in Nebraska as well.
No doubt. And, I mean, that was an advantage they had. Minnesota didn't know some of the things they were going to do with Jeff Sims. They could guess, but they didn't know just how Satterfield was going to use Jeff Sims as a runner, and I think that caught Minnesota off guard last week.
Yeah. Would you change having everybody basically on the field? Not a lot of guys upstairs.
It's an interesting approach when all of your full-time offensive coaches are down below and there was nobody in the booth for offense or defense.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Our thanks to Kevin Kugler, Donovan Jones, and for our student volunteers in the call center tonight, and thanks to our intern Hannah as well. For Jay Moore and Sean Callahan, I'm Michael Severe. We'll see you next week right here on Big Red Wrap-Up.